everyone. I'm going to talk to you today about gluten allergies, celiac disease. I'm definitely celiac. I found out in 2011 that I was totally allergic to all things gluten, wheat, barley, rye. Great. What does that mean? Well, it means stomach aches, bad stomach aches. It means lots of trips to the bathroom, and it means a totally disrupted life, to be totally honest with you. Ugh. I'd had stomach problems for years and years and years with no real diagnosis. So if any of you out there are having stomach problems, whether it be pain or trips to the bathroom or lack of trips to the bathroom, or just gassy or feeling gross, or even if you notice changes in your skin or your behavior, you might have an allergy to gluten. Basically, you'll know right away after you stop. For me, it was pretty much instantaneous. I thought, holy crap, like, no pun intended. Why didn't I do this 5 years ago? Wow. Misconception number one for gluten intolerant people: they can't eat pasta. Well, that's not true. Guess what? That's pasta shells. Doesn't have gluten because rice pasta. You can have quinoa pasta, brown white rice pasta. There's a bunch of different other ones. I personally love the Tinkyata brand brown rice pasta. Myth number two: if I go gluten-free, I can't eat bread. No, you can't eat whole wheat bread or white bread or anything that's made with wheat flour. There's lots of stuff that you can eat that is gluten-free, like this. All but gluten. No gluten. Most of them are made with the rice flour, tapioca flour. That's kind of the blend. It is more flimsy than regular bread, I will admit that, but the taste is, there's no, I don't eat it and go, ew, this is gross. And along with I can't eat bread is people think, oh, I can't have pita bread, and I'm not going to be able to have wraps, and I'm not going to be able to have tacos, anything like that. Yes, you can. I actually just found these last week. This is one of the things actually I have had trouble finding is wraps. Most of the ones I've found, they've been in the freezer section, and they're really flimsy and not very good. They kind of taste cardboardish. These actually taste really good. So yeah, that's the brand, La Tortilla Factory gluten-free wraps. They are a bit flimsy. You definitely can't stuff them to the brims of the world. But I'm happy to get in some like Laughing Cow cheese, a little bit of hummus, some veggies. I can usually do a bit of spinach, and then if I want my protein, I do either deli meat or turkey or something like that. A little bit of cucumber, a little bit of onion, and you're ready to go. So yeah, huge misconception that you can't have bread. I think I've gained some weight. I've been eating the gluten. Misconception number three: if I stop eating gluten, I'm going to suddenly lose weight. Oh my goodness, down 5 pounds. Sorry, wrong. It's possible that you're going to lose weight. You could definitely see a reduction in bloating, water weight, so there's that. But it's a huge misconception that, oh, I'm going to, stop eating gluten and I'm going to suddenly lose 30 or 40 pounds. Calories in and calories out, it comes down to a science. So if you eliminate gluten and you inherently decide that you're going to eat less calories and output more, then you will lose. But if you don't, then that's not necessarily going to happen. So as many of you know, with my fitness journey, I've been gluten-free 5 years, and I've managed to gain 30 pounds and lose 30 pounds here and there. And it wasn't because of introduction or reintroduction of gluten. It was because I was eating too much food. The end. Misconception number 4. If I get rid of gluten, I'm never going to be able to have dessert or a cookie again.
Whoa, I must have chocolate and cake.
Wrong. You won't be able to go and get your typical desserts or cookies maybe at restaurants or in the grocery stores without looking at stuff. But the good news is lots of the grocery stores do have gluten-free sections now. They have gluten-free cookies and bars and stuff like that. But the reality is, so many desserts and cookies that are online, you can easily make gluten-free. You need to be careful when following recipes. If it does call for whole wheat flour, you can't just go and substitute gluten-free flour, gluten-free flour, because you have to get the balances right. That's a other topic. But there's lots of substitutes. Almond flour is great, a little pricey, I admit. Rice flour I've already talked about. Some people will do, again, you have to find certified gluten-free oats, but they can do oat flour. Yeah, there's lots of things and lots of options. I highly recommend Pinterest. Misconception number 5. If I go to a restaurant and it says gluten-free, I can definitely eat it. Things that you have to consider: cross-contamination. So are you ordering something that is going in a deep fryer that had gluten products in it? Probably not the best thing. You also have to consider things like the grill. How clean is their grill? I don't know. Are they just putting flour all over the place and then putting your chicken breast down? Hopefully not, but maybe they are. Make sure you tell your server, I am allergic to gluten, I am celiac, whatever it is, and they will tell the kitchen. Gotta be really careful there. Misconception number 6. Gluten-free food is always healthier. This kind of goes with the weight loss one, but it's a bit different. And a lot of people think that gluten-free diets are always going to be healthier. And I'm sort of defending the people out there that aren't gluten intolerant and do have wheat in their diet. Just because you go gluten-free does not mean that your diet is going to be healthier. Our diets need to have a specific amount of carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats. Different values for different people depending on your height, size, weight, activity level, blah, 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 blah. But if your diet is too high in any of those macronutrients, you're not necessarily going to be healthy. You could gain some weight. You could end up with other issues. Sometimes there's a whole bunch of chemicals in there. I've noticed some products that have like way higher sodium content, way higher sugar content. So just be mindful of that when picking gluten-free. It doesn't always mean that it's healthier. So misconception number 7, my personal favorite. Gluten-free is a fad. It's a thing that people do because we're hipsters and it's cool. This might be true. For some people, it definitely can be a fad. Oh, it's so cool to go gluten-free. But I just want to set the record straight. Like, this is not a fad. This is a real thing. I know people that are, older, like my grandmother. Well, you ate alphagetti your entire life and bread with mayonnaise on it. This is ridiculous. You couldn't possibly be allergic to wheat. Yeah, I know. It's like, I don't get it either. But it is a real thing. And it is, it can be very serious for some people and debilitating. And there's more research out now that, people that have celiac, if they continue to be exposed to wheat and gluten, you are at a way higher risk for cancers and other diseases. So yeah, just not a fad. It's a lifestyle that I have to stay with for the rest of my life, and there are some pain in the butt things about it. All right, so here's the part where I got to keep it real, because yes, there are lots of options. Yes, there are tons of things that you can do and on and on. But there are difficulties. There are times where having this thing is a big spanakopita, or spanakopita, some people say. Yeah, that's not happening. Phyllo pastry, anything, is not happening. So my dreams of having Gordon Ramsay's beef Wellington, never gonna happen.
Oh, wow. My God. I'm in heaven.
Yorkshire pudding? Yeah, not gonna happen. I'm sure there's a gluten-free variation out there somewhere. If I searched, I could probably find it, but Yorkshire pudding is just one of those really wonderful things. Sushi. Yeah. Have yet to find a fully gluten-free sushi. So that's one of my missions this year, is to figure out totally how to make my own gluten-free sushi. I would say one of the most difficult things about having celiac disease is going places and trying to eat at restaurants or going to parties and there's food there. It's difficult because if you don't have a gluten allergy or you're not celiac, it's a very misunderstood issue. I knew very little about it when I found out that I had it. So wheat is in so much stuff, and it's just really hard to explain to a person, I can't go to that restaurant because they don't have anything for me to eat. And they're like, well, what do you mean? There's lots of food there. Well, this, that, blah, blah, blah. But what I find even more difficult is when I go to someone's house for dinner and they want to cook me something, and I have to explain to them that I really appreciate that, but I'm celiac. And then when I go there, I feel so rude because I have to interrogate them. Oh, could you just tell me what's in this sauce? Or, oh, how did you prepare this? And I have to do that because 90% of the time that I have in the last 5 years gone over to somebody else's house for dinner, I've discovered that, oh, yeah, I used this sauce mix, and the sauce mix on the package says, oh, it has wheat in it, or oh, I just dusted a little bit of flour on the pan. That won't bother you, will it? Well, yeah, it will. So that actually is, I think, the most brutal thing about being celiac is feeling just so limited in your own space and only feeling safe when you're cooking for yourself at home or you pick the restaurants to go to, so you feel a bit self-centered. Surprising places that gluten is found, wheat is found. That was something that just blew me away. And anybody that is in my life and knows I can't have this stuff, they're like, what the heck? Like, why is it in that? Places where it becomes not obvious. We talked about this, but soy sauce. This one's wheat-free, sorry. Barbecue sauce, any kind of sauces. This one in particular has and I can't say this word, Worcestershire sauce, which is straight barley. It's often a filler. One of the things that I always get, or I have to tell people is like, oh, you use chicken broth? Well, yeah, you gotta make sure that it's gluten-free. What? It's chicken broth. Yeah, it's chicken broth, I know. But some of the companies actually use mostly water, a little bit of broth, and a bunch of flour to thicken it.
What?
But soup. Basically every brand of soup out there, other than Amy's and what is that one? Pacific Foods, they do organic soup. Campbell's, all those ones. Every single one of their soups, even if it doesn't have pastas in it, even if it's just vegetables or tomato or I don't know, cream of broccoli or something, all have wheat flour in them. All do. And finally, things like popcorn. Boom Chicka Pop, amazing by the way. This is gluten-free, but regular popcorn, flavored popcorn, flavored chips, anything like that. So many of them have wheat in them. So this is probably the top thing other than chicken broth that people are a bit about when I say, oh yeah, gluten, you got to be careful. Oats. These are certified gluten-free rolled oats, only oats. They make them, they do the rolled oats, they do the steel cut oats, and Bob's Red Mill does them as well. But yeah, regular oats, your celiac, it's been processed in a factory, gone through the same process as a lot of their breads and such. Can't take the risk. So that's something that's always interesting when people say to me, oh, I've made these cookies and they're gluten-free because they don't have flour, but they have oats. Quaker oats, no dice, sorry. So what can you do if you find out that you have celiac disease, you find out you're gluten intolerant, you find out your child is, or someone that you love? The biggest thing that you can do is educate yourself. Educate yourself about what gluten is in. Hopefully you've learned a few places that it is in that you might not think about. And just basically support. We often, well, I shouldn't say we, but I often feel like I'm a bit of a burden to people because I can't eat this and I can't eat that and this is difficult and that's difficult. And so if you just make the person feel like they're not different for having this problem, and you can, take them to restaurants that have options and learn about the things that they can't have. That's probably the most valuable thing that you could do for anybody that has this issue. So that is my best recommendation. Support, educate, learn. It sucks, but there are ways around it. And thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it.